Welcome students. I am Sudha, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Thandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Vellore. We are going to learn Anna University subject code MA8353 Transforms and Partial Differential Equations. The last unit is the Z transform and difference equations. In this video, we are going to learn the Z transform of some standard functions. First, we see that introduction of Z transform. The Z transform plays an important role in the communication engineering and control engineering. In communication engineering, two basic types of signals are encountered. They are continuous time signal and discrete time signal. Continuous time signals are defined only for continuous values of the independent variable, namely time t, and are denoted by a function f of t. Discrete time signals are defined only at discrete set of values of the independent variable and are denoted by a sequence f of n, and it is used in analysis and representation of discrete time linear shift invariant system. That is, Z transform plays an important role in analysis of linear discrete time signals. When continuous signals are sampled, discrete time functions arise. The application of Z transform in discrete time systems, it is similar to that of the Laplace transform in continuous time systems. Already we have studied about Laplace transform techniques in engineering mathematics too. The Laplace transform used in continuous time systems, but Z transform used in discrete time systems. The important element of the discrete time system is the sampler. So next we see the definition of sampler and holding devices. In a sampler, a switch closes to admit an input signal in every t seconds. A sampler is a conversion device which converts a continuous signal into a sequence of pulses occurring at the sampling instance 0, t, 2t, etc. Here capital T is called the sampling period. If two signals give equal values at the sampling instance, then they give the same sampled signal. A holding device is one which converts the sampled signal into a continuous signal which is very close to the signal applied to the sampler. The simplest holding device is one which converts the sampled signal into one which is constant between two consecutive sampling instances. Next, we see the definition of Z transform. First, we see the two-sided Z transform. If curly bracket f of n is a sequence defined for n equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc., then Z transform of f of n is denoted as capital F of Z is defined as summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, that sequence f of n into Z power minus n, where Z is an arbitrary complex number and capital Z is an operator of Z transform. If the sequence f of n is a casual sequence, then f of n equal to 0 for n less than 0, then Z transform reduces to one-sided Z transform, and its definition is Z transform of f of n equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity only f of n into Z power minus n, where Z is an arbitrary complex number and capital Z is an operator of Z transform. The infinite series on the right hand side of 1 or 2 will be convergent only for certain values of Z depending on the sequence f of n. Next, we see that the inverse of Z transform is defined as Z inverse of f of Z equal to sequence f of n. Next definition, Z transform for discrete values for t. If f of t is a function defined for discrete values of t, where t equal to n into capital T, n equal to 0, 1 to etc., capital T being the sampling period, then Z transform of f of t is defined as Z transform of f of t equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity f of n into capital T Z power minus n. In place of t is n into capital T. To solve the problems for z transform of some standard function, the first problem is find the z transform of the sequence f of n equal to 5, 6, 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 8. Here 7 elements are exist in the sequence. Here n is the index of the position of the sequence. So 5 is the 0th term and 6 is the first term, 1 is the second term and also 8 is the sixth term. So given f of n equal to 5, 6, 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 8, that is f of 0 equal to 5 and f of 1 equal to 6, etc. We write the definition of Z transform. Already we know that Z transform of f of n equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity f of n z power minus 1. Here n is 7 terms only. So put n equal to 0 to 6. So summation n equal to 0 to 6 f of n z power minus n. Next, to expand the summation, put n equal to 0 to 6, we get f of 0 plus f of 1 z power minus 1 plus f of 2 z power minus 2, put n equal to 3, f of 3 z power minus 3 plus n equal to 4, f of 4 z power minus 4, etc. The last term 6, put n equal to 6, we get f of 6 z power minus 6. Substitute all the values for f of 0 to f of 6 in this term. We get 5 plus 6 z power minus 1 plus f of 2 is 1, 1 into z power minus 2 plus f of 3 is 2, so 2 into z power minus 3, etc. f of 6 is 8, so 8 into z power minus 6. Simplify, we get 5 plus 6, z power minus 1 can be written as 1 by z, so 6 by z plus 1 by z squared plus 2 by z cube plus etc. 8 by z power 6. Therefore, z transform of this sequence is 5 plus 6 by z plus 1 by z squared plus 2 by z cube minus 1 by z power 4 plus 8 by z power 6. The next problem is find the z transform of the sequence f of n equal to k. You write the definition of z transform. Z transform of f of n equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity f of n z power minus n. Here f of n is k is given. In place of f of n is k, then z transform of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity k into z power minus n. Inside the summation only n terms exist, therefore taking out the constant k, we get k into summation n equal to 0 to infinity z power minus n. Next, to expand the summation, you write k into, put n equal to 0, z power 0, anything power 0 is 1, so the first term will become 1 plus z power minus 1, z power minus 1 can be written as 1 by z plus n equal to 2 z power minus 2, that can be written as 1 by z squared plus etc. So which is the expansion of 1 minus x the whole inverse term, which is the binomial expansion. 1 minus x the whole inverse is 1 plus x squared plus etc. In place of x is 1 by z exists, therefore k into 1 minus 1 by z the whole inverse. Already we know that 1 minus 1 by z the whole inverse can be written as 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by z. In denominator, taking LCM z, we get z minus 1 divided by z. So you write kz divided by z minus 1 if modulus of z greater than 1. We need z transform of 1. Put k equal to 1 in this result. We get z transform of 1 equal to 1 into z divided by z minus 1 if modulus of z greater than 1. In case z transform of 2, put k equal to 2. We get z transform of 2 equal to 2z divided by z minus 1 if modulus of z greater than 1. Next problem, find the Z transform of the sequence f of n equal to a power n. Here f of n equal to a power n is given. First write the definition of Z transform. F of n is a power n. In place of f of n is a power n, we get Z transform of a power n equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity a power n z power minus n. Combine these two n. We get a z power minus n can be written as 1 by z power n. We write a by z the whole power n. Expand the summation. We get n equal to 0. A by z the whole power 0. So anything power 0 is 1. Put n equal to 1. We get a by z the whole power 1 plus a by z the whole square plus etc. Which is the expansion of 1 minus x the whole inverse form. That is binomial expansion. In place of x is a by z, we get 1 minus a by z the whole inverse. So we write 1 minus a by z the whole inverse can be written as 1 divided by 1 minus a by z. In denominator, taking LCM z, we get z minus a divided by z. We write the reciprocal form z divided by z minus a. If modulus of z greater than a. Therefore, Z transform of a power n equal to z by z minus a if modulus of z greater than a. Corollary. We need Z transform of 1 power n. Put a equal to 1 in the previous problem. We get Z transform of 1 power n equal to z by z minus 1. Z transform of 2 power n. Put a equal to 2 in the previous problem. We get Z transform of 2 power n equal to z by z minus 2. And Z transform of minus 1 the whole power n equal to z divided by z plus 1. And Z transform of minus 2 the whole power n equal to z divided by z plus 2. And Z transform of e power a n equal to z divided by z minus e power a. In place of a is e power a in the previous problem, we get Z transform of e power a n z divided by z minus e power a. Z transform of e power minus a n can be written as Z transform of e power minus a the whole power n. Put a equal to e power minus a in the previous problem, we get Z transform of e power minus a n equal to z divided by z minus e power minus a. Next we see that another problem. Prove that Z transform of 1 by n equal to log of z by z minus 1. If modulus of z greater than 1, the condition is n is not equal to 0. In case n equal to 0, we get Z transform of infinity. That is 1 by infinity equal to 1 by 0 equal to infinity. Therefore, the condition is n is not equal to 0. Here f of n equal to 1 by n is given. You write the definition of Z transform. In place of f of n is 1 by n, but n equal to 0 to infinity in general term. Here n is not equal to 0. So therefore we start n equal to 1 to infinity. F of n is 1 by n z power minus n. Z power minus n can be written as 1 by z power n. 1 by z power n can be written as 1 by z the whole power n. Next, to expand the summation, n equal to 1 to infinity, 1 by 1, 1 by z the whole power n. 1, we get 1 by z plus 1 by 2, 1 by z the whole square plus etc. Which is not the expansion of nothing function. Therefore, to modify this term, log of 1 minus x the whole inverse, x plus x squared by 2 plus x cubed by 3. So log of 1 minus 1 by z the whole inverse. 1 minus 1 by z the whole inverse can be written as 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by z. In denominator, taking LCM z, we get z minus 1 by z. The reciprocal of z minus 1 by z is log of z divided by z minus 1. So thank you for watching. Next we see that another video for the remaining problems. Thank you.